Hello and welcome to Asset Class. Today we'll be talking about some of the top developments in the crypto space, starting with Binance-backed booking site Travala is launching Dtravel, a decentralized vacation rental service that gives homeowners a stake in the platform. Unlike the setup on a central platform such as Airbnb, Dtravel homeowners and house guests share a joint ownership in the platform. Dtravel is a community owned through the Dtravel DAO, that's the Decentralized Autonomous Organization, in which peer-to-peer communication and voting are core to the effort. The TRVL token will be the main conduit. The DAO model allows hosts and guests to vote on issues that include everything from last-minute cancellations to how community treasuries are spent. The company plans to incentivize use of cryptocurrency across the platform by enabling the first 100 hosts to list their homes on Dtravel to collectively earn more than 35 million in TRVL points. Travala.com has more than 3 million listings of homes and hotels and more than 200,000 monthly users. The platform offers more than 30 methods of payment, though 70% of users pay with cryptocurrency. Now that's an interesting development and we're excited to see how Airbnb will respond to that. Will they start allowing their customers or guests to accept or pay with Bitcoin? Next development, it's official. El Salvador officially recognizes Bitcoin as legal tender. In an early Wednesday vote, a supermajority of the nation's legislature voted in favor of President Nayib Bukele's proposal for the Latin American nation to adopt Bitcoin. This president intends to sign the bill in law later tonight or early in the morning. 62 members of the legislature voted in favor of the bill, with 19 opposed and 3 abstentions. Bukele provided further details about his vision, pitched as an effort to boost financial inclusion in a country where only 30% of citizens have access to financial services. Users won't necessarily have to use a government wallet, said Bukele. Bukele also said in the same Twitter Space conversation that the country is designing a new law that would grant permanent residency to any individual who invests 3 BTC in El Salvador's economy. That would probably be about 90,000 US dollars, thereabout, right? The bill was just passed. The bill that just passed will mandate all businesses to accept Bitcoin for goods or services, but the government will act as a backstop for entities that are willing to take on the risk of a volatile cryptocurrency, the president said. I trust that the government will set up at the Development Bank of El Salvador to instantly convert Bitcoin to US dollars will assume merchants' risk, he said. It will hold about $150 million. If there's an ice cream parlor, he doesn't want to take the risk. He has to accept Bitcoin because it's a mandatory currency, but he doesn't want to take the risk of convertibility. So he wants the dollars to be deposited in his bank account. When he sells the ice cream, he can ask the government to exchange his Bitcoin to dollars, said Bukele. Of course, he can do that in the markets if he wants to, but he can also ask the government to do it immediately. Interesting there. Development Bank Trust Fund would sell some of the Bitcoin it receives for dollars to replenish this fund. So interestingly, what we can see here is that this $150 million, based on what happened with Bitcoin, that $150 million fund could dramatically increase over the years, 2, 3, 4, 5 times as the price of Bitcoin goes up. Bukele also indicated that the government may promote Bitcoin mining. El Salvador are already been hoping to draw businesses with excess geothermal energy, and while the government isn't specifically looking to the Bitcoin mining industry to fill that need, it is one such sector that could benefit, Mr. Bukele said. Moving on to the next news. This one is Paul Tudor Jones could go all in inflation trades. Hedge fund manager Paul Tudor Jones told CNBC on Monday he would go all in on inflation trades if the US Federal Reserve remains indifferent to rising consumer prices. The hedge fund manager discussed the potential implication of Fed Chair Jerome Powell's insistence on characterizing the recent acceleration in inflation to the fastest in 13 years as transitory. The US Central Bank Monetary Policy Committee meets this week in a two-day closed-door session to evaluate the latest economic figures, with a statement expected Wednesday followed by a press conference with Powell. Jones said he will pay close attention. If they treat them with nonchalance, I think it's just a green light to bet heavily on inflation trade. And when he says inflation trade, he is referring to trades that would allow him or allow his investment not to be affected by inflation. Moving on. If they say we're on the path and things are good, then I would just go all in inflation trades, said Jones. I probably buy commodities, buy crypto, buy gold. Jones says he likes Bitcoin and sees it as a great way to protect wealth over the long run. He holds it in his portfolio, comparing it to gold. In May, Jones bet 1 to 2% of his assets on Bitcoin. His firm, the $44.6 billion Tudor Investment Corporation, most recently secured custodial ties with institutional powerhouse Coinbase and Backed. Jones told CNBC Monday he wants an allocation to Bitcoin of 5%. The only thing I know for certain is I want to have 5% in gold, 5% in Bitcoin, and 5% in cash, and 5% in commodities. This is a billionaire saying that he is bullish on cryptocurrency if the US Treasury doesn't deal with inflation. So now these were 3 top stories and roundups in the crypto space. If you found value in the reading, go ahead and subscribe, like, turn on the notification, and make your comments. What are your thoughts on these developments in the crypto space? We would love to hear from you. That's it from us at Asset Class. Have a good day.